If you want cheap Microsoft points and game codes, check out g2a.com. Link is in the description below.
Hey guys, it's Melvin7 here, and today I'm bringing you my BPL predictions. Matchday 22 versus the Mystery C. Now, the scores are currently 59 to the Mystery C and 46 to me. The reason was because he got the Chelsea score absolutely correct, so he got 3 points for that. He said 2-0 to Chelsea. I think I predicted more scores correct, or roughly the same, but because of that extra 2 points, he went further ahead. So he's now 13 points ahead, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, let's just get into this. I'll try and keep it as brief as possible. So, first game is Aston Villa versus Liverpool. Now, Liverpool have been starting to put a run together. I think they're unbeaten in something like 6 or 7. They've been fairly good, but they're still lacking that clinical striker. But against an Aston Villa team who are very good defensively but cannot score, I don't think there's much danger, even though it is at Villa Park. For me, Liverpool, just a little bit more. They're going to have the confidence of Sterling, Lallana and Sturridge coming back. Obviously, Sturridge from a long-term injury. So I'm going to say 1-0 Liverpool. In the next game, we got Burnley up against Alan Pardew's Crystal Palace. Now, Burnley have been absolutely fantastic recently. 2-1 win against QPR. That's a 6-pointer. Definitely wasn't. Crystal Palace a 2-1 win against Spurs. Palace were a little lucky, but all in all, they fought back and they deserved the win in the end. Maybe not throughout the 90 minutes, they probably didn't, but still, good result. This one's going to be a very, very interesting one, and for me, very, very hard to split the sides, so I'm going to say 1-1. I think it's going to be a great game, to be honest. Leicester versus Stoke is the next game. Stoke getting battered 3-0 off Arsenal after drawing 1-1 with us. It was a convincing draw against us, but a shite performance against Arsenal, to say the least. Leicester, great win against Aston Villa. Again, they're starting to pick up points, getting a run of form, so for me, this one's another 1-0, and I'm going to go 1-0 to Leicester. In the next game, we got my team, QPR versus my team, Manchester United. Now, we were piss poor against Southampton. Louis van Gaal got his tactics wrong. Didn't even play Falcao in the 18. Di Maria playing as a striker. Rooney in midfield. It was all over the place. Personally, because RVP is injured and he's a major doubt, we should switch the formation now. Falcao should be the number 1 striker in this game. And personally, the loss against Southampton is exactly what we needed. A kick up the arse for Louis van Gaal to change from this ridiculous 3-5-2 system that does not work because we don't have defenders good enough to pass from the back and initiate an attack. So we'll probably change to a 4 at the back. QPR have their own problems at the minute, and the only players I really fear are Austin if he's on form, maybe Leroy Fer, Bobby Zamora occasionally, Eduardo Vargas, etc. But no one really in the defence that is too fearful. So if we get our tactics right, I don't think, considering we've only got Young and RVP injured, that QPR will be much of a match for us. So for me, we need a confidence boost. The last time we played QPR, it was 4-0 at Old Trafford. It's a lot narrower, however, so 4-1-2-1-2 diamond would be perfect. So for me, I'm going to say 3-0 United. I really think this will seal Harry Redknapp's fate. By the way, I've got a bet on Harry Redknapp becoming the new Newcastle manager. So if we do beat QPR and he gets fired, that's stage 1 complete of that, and my reasons for that, I might do a separate video or something for that, but yeah, it's 66-1, so just a little fun fact, I suppose. Anyway, next game, we've got Spurs up against Sunderland. Now, Sunderland got beat 1-0 to Liverpool. They were very, very poor, but now they have signed Jermaine Defoe, and this, Spurs really don't want to be playing Sunderland, because when former players come back, playing for the team that they're about to play against, it doesn't end well. Same as it doesn't when ignore that. Basically, yeah, because former players. So Defoe coming back into Sunderland is going to rejuvenate them. Spurs, however, have been fantastic though. But for me, I think Sunderland can get a point purely because of Jermaine Defoe. I could be completely wrong, but I'm going to say 2-2, even though Sunderland have been struggling for goals. But as I say, I think Jermaine Defoe will give them that little bit of confidence they need to try and fight out the relegation zone. The next game, Swansea up against Chelsea. Chelsea resumed winning ways in the last game. Swansea got a very good draw. 1-1 against West Ham. Very, very good. But now they've lost Wilfred Boney. So obviously, Bafétimbi Gomis, we need to see if he can step up to the mark, if he can be a direct replacement for Wilfred Boney. So it's not going to be easy for them. Chelsea basically have their full starting 11 as they always do in the season, so it's going to be very, very difficult. But I think a shock may be on the cards here, because I think Gomis could get something, but I'm going to go with my instinct. I'm going to say 1-1, even though Chelsea could completely walk this with extreme ease. But Sigurdsson, etc., if he's on form, Jojo Shelby, you know, they've got good match. I know Chelsea have a ridiculous team and are probably going to win the title, but I think this is going to be a slight slip-up. Could be wrong. Let me know what you think. Anyway, the next game, Newcastle up against high-flying Southampton, who did beat us 1-0. Overall, I think it deserved to be a 0-0, but that's football. We nicked the 3 points from them early in the season. They nicked it from us at Old Trafford, so it was very, very disappointing, but they were defensively structured. Newcastle have been fantastic recently. They did lose against Chelsea, but they played very, very well, particularly in the first half. And in the game before then, the 3-3 against Burnley, if it wasn't for defensive errors, they could have had more of a chance. So this one's going to be a very, very good game. It's at St James's Park, and personally, with Remy Cabella looked fantastic against Chelsea. So for me, this one, if Newcastle can get the structure right, they could potentially get a win for this. But even though Saints are high-flying and they're doing fantastic, I'm going to predict a draw for this one. I'm going to say 1-1. Honestly, Southampton are fantastic, but I really think Newcastle will get something from this. It's just a little hunch I've got, and I'm going to go with it. The next game, West Ham up against Hull. West Ham 1-1 draw against Swansea. You know, nothing too great. Sacco's off to the African Cup of Nations. Hull been pathetic recently, to be honest. I mean, Hull, I don't know what the hell's wrong with them. I think they're in the relegation zone. They're certainly in the relegation fight. And West Ham, it's not going to be easy to go there. So, to be honest, I think this one's an obvious 2-0 to West Ham. Hopefully, I'm right with that one. I need to get these 3 points per game, not just 1 point that I keep getting. Anyway, the next game is the biggest game of this week. It's Manchester City up against Arsenal. Now, Man City obviously completed the signing of Wilfred Boney, but he can't play because of the African Cup of Nations. Sergio Aguero's just came back from injury. Sami Nasri is now injured as well. There's contract halts going on with James Milner. They're not sure if he's going to sign, etc. Arsenal have a few injuries coming back, but they also have 2 long-term ones in Debuchy and Arteta, but Ozil, I think Ramsey and someone else are back. I can't remember, but I generally think because Alexis Sanchez is on sparkling form and Manchester City's defence hasn't been the greatest this season, that Arsenal could get something at City. I mean, City could walk this easily if their players are fully firing. I mean, I'm not sure if any of their strikers are fully fit, to be honest. I mean, Sergio Aguero needs a couple of weeks to get back to full fitness. So, for me, Arsenal can get a draw from this game if they play structured. I mean, if you look right at the start, before the league kicked off, they battered Manchester City in the Community Shield. So, it's possible. And for me, I reckon Arsenal, since they're 5th, we're right ahead of them. They're going to be desperate to pick up points. And I'm going to say this is going to be a very entertaining 2-2 draw. And in the last game, we've got Everton up against West Brom. Now, Everton just recently got a 1-1 draw against City and then got knocked out to West Ham in the Cup. That was a thrilling encounter. Adrian won that, the goalkeeper, obviously. West Brom, on the other hand, 1-0 win against Hull. Nothing to shout about, really. No offence to any Hull fans if there's any there. But I don't know, they just seem really, really pathetic in games. I don't know, they just seem to die down. It's hard to watch, to be honest, recently anyway. West Brom, though, very, very good. Obviously, there's talk about Cedro Berahino maybe going to Liverpool for 20 million, so we'll see how that pans out. Everton, though, have been unlucky with injuries, and they desperately need points. They're 3 points off the relegation zone. It's crazy. And I think their confidence may have taken a hit going out to West Ham, but I suppose Martinez will be saying, look, this is a chance for our signings to get back. We're out the FA Cup now. We need to solely focus on Europa League and the BPL, so, you know, maybe it's a good thing so they don't get congested fixtures. So for me, I'm going to say this is going to be a 2-1 win for Everton. I do reckon Berahino will get on the score sheet, but I think Everton will just have that a little bit more. So we'll compare the Mystery C's results with mine. There's some shocks from the Mystery C, to be honest, in my opinion. So yeah, there's a lot of different ones. Hopefully I can gain some points, and yeah, let's get on to the comparison. Right, so there are quite a few differences. The Liverpool one, he thinks it will be 3-1. I say 1-0, so same result. But Burnley, Palace, he thinks Palace will win, whereas I think Palace will draw. Leicester and Stoke, the exact same score. He thinks QPR will get the surprise result and beat Manchester United, whereas I obviously think Man United will win 3-0. Spurs Sunderland, he thinks Spurs will batter Sunderland 3-0, whereas I say 2-2 draw. The Swansea Chelsea, I say draw, he says 2-0 win to Chelsea. Newcastle Southampton, I think it'll be a draw, but he thinks Southampton will win. West Ham Hull, exact same result. and score. Man City, I say a draw, but he thinks Arsenal will edge it 2-1. And Everton, West Brom, he thinks they will win 2-0 Everton, but I think they'll win 2-1. So a lot of differences there. Hopefully I can catch them up. Let me know what you think, and yeah, peace.